What's up, everyone, and welcome to another SlabStox Live here on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are back with another episode. Myself, Aaron, joined by Nate, and we are talking about a few different things. Nate's got a buy it or sell it segment for us today, and I went through some February sales data. I know that we're about a week into March now, but I think that this is actually the first live stream in March since the new month arrived. So we're going to look at it. In my opinion, this is not just like the top $5 amount sales, the top 5 most important sales of February for a few different reasons, and we will talk about those as we get to that segment. But I hope everyone's doing well on this Monday afternoon, and we're just going to jump right into it and start with Nate's buy it or sell it segment today. Nate, kick us off.
Yeah, so we've got I will show some cards, and for 80% of them, I will show a price from as close to a year ago as possible, and then the price it just sold with within like the last day or two.
Okay.
Of guys that are in the news for one reason or another lately. Not John Morant though. I didn't want to touch that.
Hey, just briefly on that subject, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm sure everyone's read about it, seen it, everything. I am intrigued to see if he gets a bigger suspension, like how his cards react compared to like a PED suspension, though. I'm just like intrigued to see how the market changes.
I suppose that's I won't touch it any more than what you just said.
I'm just saying I'm intrigued to look at the card ladder sales history is my point.
I get you. And then otherwise it's pretty straightforward. So let's jump in. Did you look at any of these?
I didn't look at any of the things. I maybe saw like there's a card of a fighter on here, but that was it. I didn't look into who it was. Oh, there it is.
All right, so we're starting off with Jon Jones. So this is like a this isn't, from what I understand, this is like a metal ingot card numbered to 109, hand numbered. Don't ask me. It's not autoed, nothing. But it last sold $110. Closest I could get to a year ago was April 29th. It sold for $110. Today, selling for $250. Obviously, he just won. He is 36 years old. He was born in 1987, which puts him at on track for at least 36 years old this year, right? He just became the heavyweight champion of the world, if they call that in UFC like they do in boxing. I don't know. But he just fought in heavyweight. He won. So my question is, you say to yourself, 36 years old, should I buy this for $250 and hope he wins another one at the age of like 37? Which would be his 6. He's had 15 title bouts and one title bout that he had to forfeit because of I forget what he did.
12-6 elbow. I think it was.
That's what it was. So in the fights that finished, he's won 15 of 15.
Yeah.
And does he need another one for this to go up?
Here's my thoughts. First of all, welcome to Mahomes highlights, Jordan and Adam. Adam N, feels like it's been a while since we've seen you here, so glad to see you back. And yeah, I think I do need to get back on track and pull another LeBron gold here at some point because I can start rubbing in Nate's face again. He's got too many good pulls on me recently, so I gotta get back in the W column.
I haven't rubbed him in your face yet.
What?
I've been nice about it.
I don't know. You brought it up every now and then. Jon Jones. I'm not a religious UFC follower. I know some of these dudes and I read about them. I got a friend who's super into it, so I text him about it. But like Nate said, the 15 title fight wins, and he came back after 3 years to win this one. This is his first fight in over 3 years. And to me, it's time to sell. He's back in the news. Okay, he wasn't in the news for a few years. If you can make money on this thing with him not being in the news, you gotta sell when he's in the news. That's my take.
I agree.
Even if he is one of the greatest of all time.
I was just trying to set it up to see if I could get you to say the opposite of what I knew you were going to say, but I knew you were going to say so.
There's no way. If you bought this thing a year ago and you're making money in 2023 now, there's no way that you're not selling this unless you just like the card that much and don't want to sell it and rebuy later because it's too much of a hassle. I'd even say if you really like the card and there's 109, then maybe sell it and rebuy later. That's what I do.
Yep. And the cards just
Yeah, I don't think it's one of his key cards. It's interesting to say the least, though.
Yep. All right, next up our boy Gavin Lux.
Wait. Sorry. I'm pulling a U right now. Is that the back of the card, Nate?
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the front looks like. I just grabbed the first picture.
It looks so weird. You can move on now.
All right. Next up is our boy Gavin Lux, Wisconsin native. He, of course, torn ACL, out for the year. About a year ago, this card, BGS 95, now I don't know the subgrades on it, sold for $457. Fast forward to March 6th, and this card sells for $185. So, Aaron, if you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, I know he's injured, but we're talking about next year he's going to be 26. He really hasn't had a ton of playing time or hit his stride yet in the majors. Is it, I'm going to hold and hope he finally figures it out at age 26 as a shortstop in the major leagues and sell? Or is it, I'm just going to cut bait and move on to somebody else?
Man, if this was football and there was a guy of this caliber with an injury, I think I'd buy him because I think that your options are just more limited in the market. If you really like football cards and in the market and stuff, it's a good opportunity to buy someone who gets injured. But in baseball, there's so many other guys that you can spend money on, not only prospect wise, but also like someone could easily become not necessarily his replacement, but just anyone can always replace a player. It feels like that they're very replaceable, you know. Quarterback gets injured, if he's a star player, most likely he'll come back and play like Dak Prescott did, like other guys have. Obviously, people can lose their jobs, but I like him a lot.
Lost his job to a punctured lung.
Exactly. Like, but that's not like Dak Prescott, you know. But it's the same deal. I get it. Either way, I think I'd have to pass, and I guess I have to sell it and take the money and go buy someone else, find a prospect that I feel like could go from 185 to 250 in the next 4 months, versus just sitting here and waiting a year in hopes that maybe he gets his spot back with the Dodgers. But you never know who steps in and plays well. I mean, you really never know.
Yeah. And the Dodgers don't have, they got Miguel Vargas, but he's not he's a third baseman, second baseman type guy, not a first base or a shortstop. And it's just interesting, obviously, having let go Corey Seager and Trey Turner, two of the best shortstops in the league, to give the reins to Gavin Lux. Like, I still believe they're going to give the reins to Gavin Lux, but knowing the card market, you tell me how many people are interested in a 26-year-old shortstop. You know?
I mean, I guess if you're trying to compare it to like Trey Turner being really good, no one caring for like multiple years, then yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or look at Willy Adames.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares. He had a great year last year.
We've got red rookie auto. We've got his red rookie auto. What is it? Maybe like $200.
Sick card though.
Yeah, sick
card.
Hey,
that's the type of card that the Brewers are not going to be able to re-sign him. So he has 2 more good years, and then he signs with a big team. Boom, money.
$1,000.
But I am in agreement with you. I hate to say it, I have to sell this card, and I have to move on at this point. 26-year-old that hasn't hit his stride yet is not somebody I want to be betting on. On the flip side of the Wisconsin natives, you've got Jared Kelnick.
Before we hit the flip side of Wisconsin native, I want to address Grant's comment quick. Would love to hear your opinions on the Jordan LeBron dual auto market. Grant, it would definitely take me a bit longer to really understand how the trends have been for the dual auto Jordan LeBron market. But to me, the market's got to be far substantially lower than it was in 2021. I know a lot of people are trying to acquire LeBron, Jordan, Kobe combo autos and such like that. If you've got the money and you're not looking to buy and flip cards, and you're looking to sit on something long term, and they're both on card autos, there's not more of those things coming out with their NBA jerseys. It's a pretty safe bet from a storing a value standpoint, especially if they've dropped a lot. So it's up to you at that point based on like what your financial goals are or even collecting goals. But I would say like it's hard to beat that in a basketball card for sure.
You know what's weird?
What?
That comment has not popped up on my screen.
Oh, that is very odd. Yeah, no, it's there. I see it.
The last comment I see is from Adam. Is that the second? Is that the?
Yeah, that's the second to last.
So on the flip side of the Wisconsin guy debate, there's Jared Kelnick, who is playing well, 4 home runs this spring. I will give you one guess, Aaron, as to guess where each pitch was that he hit a home run There's one zone where each fastball he hit was in that he hit for home runs this spring training. What was the zone?
Up and in.
Middle.
Oh.
He
Maybe
has gotten,
pitchers should pitch somewhere else then.
he's gotten 4 middle fastballs that he's smacked out of the yard. And while it's better to, he's been fouling off pitches he doesn't normally and all that good stuff. People will make a lot about Jared Kelnick, and they will invest a lot of money in Jared Kelnick for the sake of middle fastballs so far this year. That's not good. That being said, there is always hope. You know me. I'm always hopeful that Jared Kelnick is just 2 seconds away from breaking out. But last year, or close to a year ago, 11 months ago, this Bowman Chrome rookie PSA 10 auto sold for $356. Today is today the 6th? Yeah,
it is the 6th. Yes, sir.
It's sold for $250. So we're talking $100 loss, which is still better than what it would have been, say, 3 months ago.
Well, you're killing me here, giving me these examples of like kind of not great cards and not great reasons to buy something.
Well, I'm just testing your Wisconsin loyalty.
I wouldn't mind buying a Jared Kelnick card if it wasn't a PSA 10 base auto from 2021 Bowman Chrome. But I mean, I don't know, Nate. I see the sold price there is higher than what the card letter value says, so maybe I sell it.
Yeah,
I just don't have it. You talked when I heard all 4 of them were middle. I mean, why would I want to buy a guy that's overperforming what he probably will during the season?
Well, are you a real Wisconsin fan or not?
Now he's trying to throw me in the dirt for not being a Wisconsin fan.
Here's the thing: it's not a fancy card. It's just a Bowman rookie base auto. But $100 off. I don't know. I could always be tempted into Jared Kelnick.
What you're telling me is that there's worse buys out there.
What?
There's worse buys out there is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Well, though I would rather have the purple sapphire, Topps Chrome Sapphire auto for less than this that we saw a couple months ago.
Dude, I'm not convinced it was less than that. You keep on saying that. I gotta look.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was like $213 or something like that.
No, it's 276, but still, it's under
whatever.
300.
Same difference.
Well, I hate to say it, and I really don't want to, but card letter value is saying this is $564 now. The Sapphire Purple Rookie Auto. Yikes!
All right, so you're sell.
I'm a sell. I'm gonna take the money and go and buy something else. I gotta capitalize. If his market really has like doubled in the last like 2 months, I mean, or 2 months, I can't sit here and watch that. Even
though you can still get it for $100 off from a year ago.
Oh, there's a lot you can get for over $100 off from a year ago.
Yeah, I'm right there with you as well. I'm selling. I just until we see it. I don't know. I can't see this coming either.
We got Pokeoz in the chat. IQ, meaning Emmanuel Quickly, played 55 of 58 minutes last night in the double overtime win over the Celtics, hoping to pick up some more of his cards before the market realized how good that kid is. It's funny, man. There's like, obviously the Knicks have now won 9 straight games. I think 9 or 8. But this year's been a lot of Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, All-Star Jalen Brunson, almost All-Star. They're 100 million plus free agency signing. But then you go down the list and you're like, okay, well, there's also RJ Barrett there. Is he doing well? Like, oh, he's still putting out numbers. Emmanuel Quickly now had like 38 points last night. Like they got, then they trade for Josh Hart. They got like quietly like just a group of guys that are playing well and winning games.
Yeah. Sometimes all you have to do is just put together a roster of guys that don't look very special on paper, but they just mesh well, right?
Yeah, I mean, and all of them individually have definitely been improving. That's for sure. Gabriel says, "Do you boys collect Pokemon?" I have a couple cards, but nothing crazy. A few. I actually have a bunch, but just sitting in like a box. But I have a couple of decent ones still. And Nate's shaking his head, nah.
I do not.
I don't actively really buy and sell too much. So I did buy and sell a couple of show the other week, but not much.
The one time I did go to McDonald's and buy a kids meal just to see what it was like to pull a Pokemon pack out of a kids meal. It was stupid. It wasn't worth the money.
Worth the money to a kid, though.
Worth the money to a kid, yeah. I just regret doing it because the food
All
wasn't
right, what
good
do we
enough.
got here for Derek Carr?
So Derek Carr, 2014 top. Oh wait, here, real quick question for you. McDonald's,
Yeah.
good food, bad food?
I barely eat it.
Okay. McDonald's, tasty food or not tasty food?
No, not tasty. I don't even like how it tastes when I have it.
Okay, because I had this argument with Jimbo one time on Daily Slab, and somebody sent me a message just ripping into Jimbo. I
mean,
didn't share
Dinging
it with
Corners.
him. On Dingy Corners, yeah, about McDonald's food and how I was like, if it was bad, like I stand by this. If McDonald's food was bad, it wouldn't be as popular as it is. And Jimbo was like, no, it's marketing, yada yada yada. There's a lot of marketing behind crap fast food like White Castle. That stuff's terrible. It's not as popular as McDonald's. McDonald's is everywhere. I stand that you can't have terrible food and still sell a ton like they do. So it has to at least be decent. So I get riled up when people are like, "Oh, McDonald's is terrible." It's pretty tasty.
I
can't eat
don't
it
mean
anymore 'cause I can't eat beef, but it's pretty tasty still. And the fries are tasty.
it.
You're gonna tell me you don't like some hot pipe and hot McDonald's fries, salty?
They're not bad, man. They're not bad. I just the fries. I just don't find it that good. I find it mediocre. I find it mediocre. There you go. I do got to pull up this comment here from Grant though. The Shea Gilgeous-Alexander Logo Man NTRPA. It is live on PWCC Premier Auction right now, dude. I didn't know this. It's at $150,000 right now, Nate. The Logo Man NTF Shea. I'm looking. I just looked. This card sold for $23,000 March of 2020. It sold like 6 days after the NBA got suspended, bro, for 23 grand. It's at 150K right now.
It's one of those things where like that's amazing, and also I would never be able to afford that back then or now. So it's like
Correct. However, I do want to really quickly interrupt our buy it sell it because I guess we could do buy it sell it on this. I'm selling for that much profit. But SGC9, quite the card. Looks spectacular in my opinion in that slab. Looks like it's framed. Amazing card. 150 grand. Quite crazy. Also, just because we're here, I just noticed this was live today. Also, I have to highlight this, or at least show this. If you'll load. Dude, the Papadoption 101 Max is live. It's already 120 also, PSA 9.
Whoa.
I couldn't believe when I saw it live. Yeah, it's crazy.
Has that sold before?
I don't think so. Not that I have seen. The Lewis PSA 8 sold for like the 700,000 or something like that.
Wow.
And Kevin says once a year food, tasty fries from McDonald's. And Eric says the fries are the best. Well, there you go. I guess the people are supporting you with your fries.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I just don't think you can get as popular as it is with bad food.
Okay, that's fair, but I wish I could rewind the clock and go taste it back in the day when their brand exploded. And if it was actually better than it is today, because I don't think it's that good today. I think it might have been better back then.
That's fair. I mean, I haven't had it in a while, mainly because I can't eat the burgers and I don't want to get chicken from McDonald's. So.
And when I say back in the day, I mean like the 60s. I don't mean like 2000s.
I will say this. I don't know if the apple pies are still 50 cents a piece or 2 for $1, but if they are, shout out.
Jordan says, Aaron, can we split the max Papadasha? No, that can't happen, Jordan. You might need to go find a whale for that one. Maybe that whale's Nate. We'll have to find
Nope, not me.
All right,
I'll go 0.1%.
Yeah, give me a little sliver. Moving back to buy it, sell it. Derek Carr onto the Saints now, Nate. Onto the Saints.
Yeah, I didn't even add a second comp on here because I know your answer, but he did sign with the Saints today for an absurd deal. We're talking like $35 million a year or something like that. But 2014.
Well, I mean, Daniel Jones wants like $45 million, so. But Daniel Jones, he's young and he can run. I get it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and also he led his team to the playoffs last year. Derek Carr had the best team he's had in years, and what did he do?
Okay, well, check this out. I'm a buy. Give me that card at 275. I'm buying it. You want to know why?
Oh boy,
Dude,
I wasn't expecting this. Why?
he had a bottom 10 defense like every year for the past like 7 years. And that's NFC South. Dude, he's going from like the hardest division in football to like the easiest division in football in one offseason. I'm not saying Derek Carr's amazing. He'll put up numbers in the NFC South. That's what I'm saying. And the Saints will win the division. So I feel like they'll be worth more than this today.
I wasn't expecting that. I was
Well, here we
expecting you to
go.
say so. I mean, here, I fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Everyone expected the Raiders to be good because Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and I know a lot, and Hunter Renfrow, and I know a lot of those guys didn't play together last year, but still, we were fooled once by him. I won't be fooled again. I don't think he is going to be the real deal in New Orleans.
I'm expecting 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns from Chris Olave with Derek Carr next year.
I would like okay, that's the over-under. You're taking the over. We'll set the over at 1,499 yards and 9 touchdowns. You're taking the over. I'm taking the under.
I said it. Okay, fine. But that's some way to take what I said and make an over-under game real quick.
Yeah.
Max says Carr is poop. Yeah, Carr isn't great, but we'll see. I mean, he's in a bad division. And Max says, "Hope you're well." I hope you're well too, Max. Jim, I know you got to pump your New York Knicks in here. Yeah, they're doing decent right now.
Yeah, I mean, not a 16-game win streak.
No,
but pretty good. It's like a little baby win streak.
I'm just happy they beat the Celtics. That's all I'm happy about.
Yeah. That's true. And I'm selling. I'm selling that card. All right, this was, I thought, maybe the most interesting one. So obviously Mikal Bridges, since he got to the Nets, has played 9 games. He's averaging 26 points a game. He's still great at defense. He looks like he could become the face of that franchise.
Did you see his first half stats yesterday? He's like 9 for 9 for 21 points.
Yeah, dude's a stud. So here's the question. This card is up. This card is up significantly since as close to a year ago as I could get, which was May 18th. For $400 today, $222, quote unquote, a year ago. But knowing what you know about Mikal Bridges, how good he is defensively, all of a sudden how really, really good he is offensively as the lead for the Nets. And they don't actually look like that bad of a team, all things considered. What are you doing here? Because obviously there's a ton of upside with Mikal. But
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see what other blue PSA 10s sell for. So Shea sells for $1,375. Trey sells for $1,200. I'm buying at $400. I feel like that he could be more impactful to the Nets than Trey could be to the Hawks, which sounds stupid. But if he's that good defensively and that efficient offensively, and the Nets actually, and maybe the Nets are just.
It doesn't sound stupid if he's averaging 26 points a game with his defense.
Exactly.
So
it's tough. I mean, I don't know if I'm buying it because it's already increased a lot, and sometimes it's hard to see a big increase in this market and buying and expecting it to go higher.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I don't know. I mean, that's like 30% to 40% or 20 to 30% of other similar players in the class. I know Shea scores way more, but that Thunder team's not doing anything this year. He's got more opportunity to increase in the playoffs.
Yeah. I personally, I don't think I would sell at this point. I mean, we're only 9 games into his tenure as the face of a franchise, whereas before he was third fiddle at least on the Nets, if not fourth behind DeAndre Ayton.
Suns. On the Suns.
What did I say?
You said the Nets.
Oh, on the Nets now. Yeah, Suns.
Jabroni's got a question on left field here from Ian's related to baseball. Do you guys think Bowman's Best should be more expensive than Topps Finest? Topps Finest has sat for multiple weeks at $200 box. And all pre-sales for Bowman's Best is $300. It depends on the contents of the box. Doesn't Bowman's Best have like 5 autographs or something like that?
I've
legitimately
never opened a box of Bowman's Best in my life.
Neither have I. I like some of the cards. I definitely like some of the singles, but like I've never ripped it either. I would have to do more research to really figure out. Will his production go down once he gets paid? Speaking of Mikal Bridges, it's possible. It's definitely possible. But I gotta say, if you're leading a team, you're leading a team, and good players stand out no matter if they got paid or not.
Though we've seen it before. Contract year.
Yeah.
Needs a new contract.
But big standout here is Julius Randle.
He's not in a contract year, is he? Doesn't he have like 3 years left on his deal?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it crazy? 1 second. I got him.
Well, Julius Randle was in a contract year and played really
2023. Well. Yeah, he's got three more years on his deal.
Yeah.
2023, 2024, 2024, 2025, 2025, 2026.
Yeah, 2026 he's a free agent. When he's 30. Probably get a fat deal then. Also, we were just talking last night. Weren't people like it was like 4 first-round picks people were coming in trying to scoop him from the Suns for, right?
I believe it was the Raptors that offered 4 first-round picks for Bridges. But I could be remembering that.
You want to know who looks like a big idiot right now or what franchise does? The 76ers. They drafted a kid who went to college in their city just to trade him on draft night. They trade Bridges.
Trust the process. Outside of Embiid, they butchered the draft.
They haven't drafted anything, I don't think.
Outside
of Embiid.
Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz,
Zaire Smith.
What?
Zaire Smith. He's a 2018 draft rookie.
Zaire Smith. No, what's the
you could say Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey was a good pick though.
Yeah.
I mean, 21st pick for Maxey's pretty darn good.
That's fair. All right, we move on. One last one. And this is for you. This is the same card, 2 of 8. Selling raw for $449 October 6th, and selling PSA 10 for $3,500. I don't know a thing about Osimhen, but I know people to keep talking about him, and I know he scored a lot of goals this year.
So you know a thing. You said you don't know a thing, but you do know a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I do know a thing. What are you doing with this card? Specifically because it's the same card. Like we know for a fact that this 2 of 8 turned into a PSA 10. Obviously, when you bought it for $449, you didn't know it was going to turn into a PSA 10. But the fact that it's the same card and it's now 8 times the value, 7 times the value. I don't know. Pretty. What would you do?
First of all, I just want to grab that. Got Osimhen rookie right there, purple mojo.
Oh, nice.
I'm selling that card if I bought that for $449. So I really like him. He scores a ton of goals, as you said. Playing Napoli, 24 years old. He's going to get sold for like $100 million this summer. Max thinks he's coming to Chelsea, but it could be Bayern Munich or Manchester United also. And
if he goes to Chelsea, then you definitely want to sell it.
Then you want to sell if he's going to Chelsea, correct? But my point is that like to deny that much profit after someone scores a bunch of goals in Serie A and in the Champions League is like very hard to deny that profit, because we've seen with other big signings when they go to a different league, they don't produce right away. Sometimes it takes them a year, sometimes it takes them 6 months, sometimes they do produce right away and maybe it could go higher. But I'd say more often than not, this is like a baseball prospect. He's on the verge of call up right now. If you don't sell him right now, you're going to miss on big profit potentially. So I would definitely have sold this card. I do really like him, though. Actively kind of buying, grading, potentially selling some things through this kind of high period at Napoli into him getting sold. So if you want to wait a little bit longer, like wait until like he gets sold for like $100 million plus and then sell. Otherwise, you kind of got to wait it out for a long time, I think. But he's a super exciting player. I'd love to see him in the Premier League for sure.
There you go.
That's where I'm at. Also, I know that he doesn't have many rookie logo cards, but I'm not big on Mosaic Panini products for soccer, especially, to be honest, because they made so many different random ones. So I like the money on this Black Gold Live 8 from Choice.
It's pretty good looking, though.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I agree. All right, Nate, nice job. I think that's a pretty good segment right there. Definitely took longer than I thought, but I like it.
Yeah,
All right,
those things tend to happen.
here we go. 15 minutes right now. I go through the top 5 sales of February, starting at number 1. And when I say top 5, I'm speaking most important. Yes, they're high dollar sales and they're easy to kind of talk about and compare. I can't afford this. A lot of people watching can't afford this. I mean, more important to me is buying this Osman than that sale for sure. But the reason why this sale is important is because this is a Kaboom Gold out of 10 PSA 10 Kobe Bryant. This was the only set that they released numbered Kabooms in, was that rewards program. And that's a massive sale. Now I want to look a little bit deeper into the sales data. And this specific card has not sold since 2020, was the previous sale when it's under $10,000, the PSA 10 publicly, that is. So from 2020, middle of the summer, it was 7,000, 8,000, and that goes up to 70K, Nate, 10x between the two public sales.
Why didn't we buy it in February of 2020?
Yeah, for what was that? Maybe like $1,000, $2,000?
Yeah.
Crazy. So
$1,860.
When I'm speaking most important to, obviously everyone can take it for different reasons, but like I think this is an important sale because like to see a card go through this long of time and sell for 70 grand, it does really signify how much kabooms have increased in the card market in general. Like this card already would have been worth like $20,000 plus if it was like a Prism card or something else, or maybe even more than that, honestly, in 2020. But I guess it's important to me because it even shows like, hey, in a hot market, like if you're buying things that other people aren't, or things that prospectively will increase in value or perception in the future, you know, you can do well. And someone did very well on this, most likely is the case, unless they bought it at a private sale higher than what it sold for, obviously. But you know, you could have bought one of those too and had a really good sale there. Next up, so I know that when everyone thinks of Metal Universe, you think of basketball and you think of PMGs with Jordan and Kobe and, you know, Scottie Pippen and stuff. But we had a Ken Griffey Jr. This sold in the premier auction from PWCC. It's numbered out of 50. It is the championship gems, PMG from the champion. Well, this would be the championship set in basketball. I mean, it's not like a championship set in baseball, whatever. Don't mind that. So for 66K, it's a lot of money for a non-rookie card, but 90s inserts, we know that they just do differently. And the reason why this is important is because you look at that graph there, there's 3 sales all time. And if you notice, I don't know how big this is on your screen or where you're watching, or if you're listening on podcasts, there's 2 blue dots before this most recent sale. And blue dots on Carr signify private sales. So to our knowledge, or at least to Carr's knowledge, then that means to my knowledge, this is the first publicly auctioned off Ken Griffey Jr. BGS 9. It is PMG, which is pretty cool. And I ain't looking at other grades, but for this BGS 9, compared to 2021, compared to 2020, it sold much, much, much higher. 66 grand compared to 40, compared to 11, 12, 13, somewhere in that range. Quite a nice sale for whoever bought and sold this in good timing for sure.
13,000. I'll let you in on a little secret. It says that at the bottom of the screen.
I see it. I didn't look at it. 13,000. Thank you. Next up, I actually did an Instagram Reels on this one today. We wrote on it in the Daily Slab newsletter as well. This is a PSA 10 Jokic that sold in February for $35,000 from National Treasures, rookie autograph number out of 99. There is no patch autographs of Jokic from National Treasures. He has immaculate RPAs, but they didn't make a patch autograph. It's just the on-card, like Fred VanVleet is also like that too. Must have been like a late edition type of thing, or just wasn't as good to deserve a patch auto. And actually, the other reason too is because he wasn't in a rookie premiere, because he's actually drafted in 2014. So he was drafted in 2014, so he wasn't like probably at the rookie premiere because he's an international player. Comes over and then plays it obviously extremely well up until this point. And this card, at one point, I don't have the start price in there, but it's got to be, I think it's like $1,000 was the first PSA 10 sale. The intriguing thing to me, or interesting thing to me about this card, is that this card has sold for a higher amount every single year that it's been released, unless maybe there was one year like 2018 that sold a little bit lower than 2017 or something like that. But basically for the last few years, it has sold higher each year than the previous year. There's only one sale that even dipped on this card in the last 3 years. And that is an impressive feat. When you think about the card market, you think about what's happening, you think about a lot of cards that went way up, went way down, stuff is held for in some regard. This is quite the impressive feat here for this card to increase in value each year thereafter. Jim says, I'm going to let you guys in a little secret. I trade all these high-end cards in for a nice short stack of thin pancakes, some honey and butter on top of them on a cold winter's morning. Well, I'll take the cards, Jim. You can have the pancakes. I like syrup, though. Next card, I believe that this is actually card number 4 now. So this is the 2003 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor Rookie, number out 50, PSA 10, LeBron. Sold for $900,000 via auction on gold in February 8th. If you look at the sales history of this card, these are the ones that I think trade privately the most, where I look at this graph in the previous sale was last year for 1.2 million. So it did dip from the 1.2 million, but that was a private sale last year. And then the sale before that was 2017. And then that goes back to 2006 when it sold for $405, Nate. $405 in 2006, $900,000 in 2023. Insane stuff. But the reason why this is definitely, first of all, a super important card. There was no super fractors made of this card of LeBron James from 2003. This is like his best Topps Chrome rookie possible. And it went 6 years without hitting public auction, but I imagine that they have traded hands privately, maybe even more than that $1.2 million sale in 2022. Fun fact, this is the first ever, I think, $1 million price card I saw at a sports card show. I'm pretty sure in Dallas, Nate, this card was there early 2021 for $1 million is stickered at or something like that, close to that.
Wow.
So just cool to see, I guess. And then lastly here, the last card, which is significantly cheaper than the other ones we shared. I want to find one that was under like 25K. This is a Patrick Mahomes Purple Crystals, number out of 75, PSA 10. This is more important than just the card selling for 18 grand. I think it's pretty important because, yes, at one point it did sell for 35K. But in 2022, it dropped all the way down to, I think it was around $9,000. And after the Super Bowl win, this ended up selling for 18, which is double what it sold for like towards the beginning of the NFL football season last year. And no, Jim, they're numbered out 50, the gold refractors of LeBron. But the reason why this is interesting to me and important is because this does go to show, like, hey, after all the sports card market drops, if you were able to correctly buy a card, buy a player, pick the right set, there has definitely been gains to be had in early 2023. There's no question about it. I'm not saying that every card is gaining ground. That's not the case anymore. That's not going to happen, at least from what I think. Again, maybe someday, who knows if something happens, but it's not. We're not going to see a 2020 craze, but it actually does take, making the correct pick and studying up and really, I guess, a little bit of thought to it. And you can do well. There's plenty of examples that have done well. I know these are all very expensive cards. I'm not saying you have to go and drop $18,000. That's definitely not true. I'm not doing that. Nate's not doing that. A lot of people aren't doing that. Even if it's finding the $10 card to sell for $20, buying the prospect at the show who then has a hot start to AA and then gets called up, or hot start to single A, whatever it is, gets promoted to AA. Like, that stuff happens a lot now, and it's good to see. I think that, when people were talking about the drop in the market, like, we'll eventually get to the point where, like, maybe it provides us a good baseline to where things can kind of normalize instead of just, and obviously cards are still dropping in value. Some of the, for whatever they are, people don't care about the players. They're too price high. In general, there's too many of them, but if you're looking at the right stuff, it can work. It can happen. And that's why I think this Mahomes is honestly the most important of all of them. The other ones are intriguing, cool cards, increasing in value, a long time between sales, but this was good to see, I think.
I would love to go back to September 6th, 2018. And
what was that, 80
for $99?
$99, dude. Mahomes was a discount and a half, man. Crazy. I'm going to touch on Jim's comment here before just the last slide. Thoughts on the value of Bowman U football cards that just came out? Is it worth buying Caleb Williams? Number one's, Jim, I'd wait a little bit until the set's been ripped more singles listed, all that such. I think it's definitely an interesting set. If you want to read my thoughts on Bowman U football or just our breakdown in general, I'd highly recommend going to 137pm.com, looking up SlabStox on the website and looking at our most recent market report for February. We did a whole segment on Bowman U Chrome football, and basketball will be coming out here too in the near future. So worth the read and understanding the set for sure. If you've got a little bit of time, it'll take you no longer than 3 minutes to read it. But this week on Whatnot, so actually it's not on the schedule, like within an hour and a half. I'm going to go on live on Whatnot to do a little Stranger Things pick your character break. I already have multiple characters sold for 8 boxes of the new Zero Cool set they released. I got 10 of them in. I ripped 2 of the blasters. Didn't get really any good numbered cards. So should be hopefully some good stuff left in them. So come and join me on there if you want to dig into that new set. Otherwise, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time, I am doing a Topps Chrome F1 hobby case. Pick your team. Mercedes already sold for the whole case. Red Bull sold for a couple spots. Alpine sold for the whole case after Fernando Alonso's podium this past weekend. But there's still some spots left. If you go check out the stream on our Whatnot channel, just search SlabStox on the Whatnot app. And then Nate's got Wednesday and Thursday some Sapphire breaks again. He's got Bowman Chrome Sapphire on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I guess you can talk about Thursday because I don't need to say everything. Go ahead. Thursday, what you doing?
Yeah, and Topps Chrome update Sapphire on Thursday. We've got multiple cases in the house. So we'll be giving away 1 box plus selling box by box and some pack by pack breaks there. So should be a good time. And we'll see if we can get a red or maybe even, dare I say it, Pamperdasha.
I love that. I love that. And that one's going live an hour earlier than the other stream. So that one will start at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to get in there right away to have a chance to win some of the free packs they'll be giving away throughout the first hour or two of the stream. Other than that, that's all we got for this stream today. Hope everyone had a good time. We'll be back, as always, next Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. All the different streams and whatnot throughout the week. And then on Sunday night for SlabStox Sundays at 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. Nate, good props to you for the buy and sell. I thought there's some really interesting topics in that one. So good job.
Perfect.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the following streams throughout the week and have a great rest of your week.
See you, everyone.